The president and the Department of Justice leadership has confidence in Matt Whitaker. Look, he has a full and legal authority under the Vacancy Reform Act of 1998, where if it's someone that's been a senior official as well as has been there for more than 90 days, could serve as acting attorney general.
So from the White House, Mercedes Schlapp, just last hour here saying the president stands by Matthew Whitaker as the acting attorney general. Michael Mukasey, former attorney general himself, here in studio, knows the topic as well as anybody. Nice to see you.
Good to be here.
Good morning, and thank you for coming back. Does the president have the right to appoint the person he wants in that position?
Yes, within certain limits. He has a right to put in an acting attorney general who qualifies under, as Mercedes Schlapp just said, the Vacancy Reform Act, and Matt Whitaker fits that description. However, the question is whether he also qualifies under the Constitution, and that's a much closer call, and obviously the Constitution
What is the Constitution?
The issue is that under the Constitution, the president can appoint what's called a principal officer. That word's not in the Constitution, but that's in the cases. A principal officer who has to be subject to the advice and consent of the Senate. The president can fill certain vacancies only with the advice and consent of the Senate. The attorney general position is one of those. Now, the question is whether somebody who is acting attorney general would have to be somebody who's been confirmed, and there are people available who have been confirmed. Rod Rosenstein is one of them. I think he's got a lot of conflicts and would be an unwise choice. But the Solicitor General, Noel Francisco, would be perfectly fine.
So you're saying there are others right now?
There are others right now who we could put in that position temporarily. Why could you not
serve in this role for a couple of weeks as acting and then go for Senate approval in 2 months in the new year? I mean, you have the votes in the Senate to do that.
Yeah. If you're talking about the same person who's serving as acting, he can't nominate that person under the statute. You can't do that.
I see.
But the point of somebody serving, you can serve as an acting attorney general if you haven't been confirmed in that position. But the question is whether you've been confirmed in another position and whether you're considered a principal officer. And the problem here is that if it turns out that an acting attorney general is a principal officer and Matt Whitaker has not been confirmed by the Senate in any position, then anything he does that could be done only by a confirmed attorney general is void. There are some things that can be done that can be delegated to somebody else. Those things would be perfectly valid.
Everything you're saying suggests that he's got a problem here.
Yes.
Okay. Adam Schiff and the state of Maryland apparently is going to sue to challenge Whitaker. We'll see where that goes. Schiff writes this. He says, if he does not recuse himself, meaning Whitaker from all matters Russia, Whitaker could seek access to the special counsel's plans and evidence, including grand jury testimony, would be in a position not just to funnel information to Trump and his legal defense team, but also to abuse his authority to cripple or end the investigation. He continues, Whitaker could attempt to prevent evidence from reaching Congress and the public or stop the special counsel for subpoenaing important testimony, including from Trump himself. We can argue that or not.
Sure, Whitaker could also go out and strangle his grandmother. I mean, please, it's ridiculous.
I guess in summary, I mean, do you see this position going forward with Whitaker or with someone else?
I would hope with someone else for safety's sake. So far as conflicts, he has no conflict. There's no reason for him to recuse himself. There's reason to be hesitant about his authority, but there's no reason for him to recuse himself based on statements he made earlier. That's absurd.
I guess the bottom line, is he a good choice or not for this job?
He's a fine lawyer. If it's something that has to be settled by litigation, I would think that perhaps there are safer choices.
And easier choices.
And easier.
An easier process.
Right.
Thank you, sir, very much. It's great to see you in studio.
Good to be with you.
Michael Mukasey, thank you.